Well, we had a pretty nice day today. I mean, we saw more sunshine. It wasn't so much what we've had lately with all the clouds.
A chance to do some activities outdoors, and the winds and seas are starting to calm down a little bit more so too. We have had advisories for the last few days now, but those are starting to relax somewhat too. The Rip Current advisory, hopefully that goes away at 8 o'clock tonight. A chance to get out there and do some sailing too, and the sailing squadron, if you will, out there in Sarasota Bay had just did that. They had a great time out there out on Sarasota Bay, and also down playing some baseball into Charlotte County as well. If we go to the maps, there
it is.
Waiting on the picture there. There it is. It just these kids have a little youth program, and they actually sail out there when the weather is cooperating. They said they were watching this morning on ABC7 to see if the forecast was good. It sure enough was. So William DeWald sent the boats out there and the kids out there, and they had a great time. Stone Crabs, there's a game going on today. There was a game going on. Barb Wilson, our friend and viewer, sending this picture into the mascot down there in Charlotte County. And Van Way's a webcam showing some high clouds around associated with just the outflow from Cindy that's out there in the Gulf of Mexico spinning toward Louisiana and Texas tonight. No real threat of any significant weather here. Different story up into Louisiana and all the way over to Texas. This line's really intensifying. We're finally starting to get some rain on the western edge of the area of low pressure, which is still spinning right about here, heading off toward the border of Texas and Louisiana right now. It's going to be moving in this northwesterly fashion right through the rest of the night and eventually making landfall. When a system makes landfall, a tropical system, it loses its fuel source, which is the warm water. And the warm water in the Gulf of Mexico will no longer be with it once it makes landfall, but it's still going to pull a lot of moisture in as a result of that. And so flooding likely from the panhandle of Florida all the way over to Texas tonight. And for us, no problems with flooding, but some rainfall moving into Arcadia. Notice not a lot of rainfall here near the coast. The outflow from these storms, though, could generate a few showers along the coast of this evening, but those will be few and far between. The moderate to heavy rainfall now throughout portions of DeSoto County. Well, Tropical Storm Cindy, the advisory as of 5 o'clock this evening, 50-mile-an-hour winds. We don't anticipate that getting too much stronger, and the pressure has been falling today, though. It's 994 millibars, not a big drop, but nonetheless, a developing system sometimes drops the pressure, but then the winds pick up a couple hours later. It's not going to have much of a chance to develop because it's so close to land right now. So that's the good news as it makes its way off to the north-northwest and eventually bringing some heavy rain there. Well, what happened to Brett? It's been ripped apart by these strong winds coming off of Venezuela, which is always the case, especially early on in the season, and some dry air too. There's a lot of moisture here moving through Haiti and off toward Cuba right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. There's a chance some of that could work its way back into Florida, but right now it's too early to tell. 98-degree heat index. You felt it out there today. The humidity was extremely high. As is the case, we get that south to southeasterly wind. It's out of the south now at 14. The pressure looking good. It's rising 30.01 inches. Temperature rising today too with a little bit more sunshine. It was 92. That's above average, 89. This morning's low was warm too at 77. Rainfall amounts have been impressive this month thus far, just midway through the first, not full day of summer. It came in just after midnight, but we had temperatures in the low 90s. And right now, up and down the coast, into the mid to upper 80s near the coast. Northport and Englewood a little bit cooler. 90 still at Sebring and 87 in Lake Placid. The Gulf temperature now 86. Well, here's a boating forecast. It looks to be a little bit better. Seas running 2 to 4 feet. Still choppy out there, but light chop expected on Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. So if you held off for boating, looks to be good for the weekend. UV index will be an 8 tomorrow. That's been a little low lately because of the clouds. A high tide upcoming 12:45 and a low tide at 5:15 in the morning. Partly cloudy, some scattered storms, and chance at 20%. 78, warm and muggy overnight. Tomorrow, finally some sunshine and just a few scattered storms in the afternoon. The extended forecast calling for quiet weather for most of the weekend. A 40% chance for storms comes back into play on Sunday, and we stick around with those afternoon and evening storms throughout much of the work week next week. Linda.